Welcome back, Soulful Sunrisers, to Soulful Sunrise on Progressive Black Talk Radio. Our guest today is a fave of mine. You know him, Fitman times Fade Man, owner of Fitman times Fade Man Collective in Abington, PA. The Fitman Performance and Physique Center, the Fitman Precision Barbershop, certified performance coach, licensed master barber, NGA Pro natural bodybuilder. I tell you, about to be a father. He got all the titles. This morning, welcome to our show. We got your song ready and queued up. You ready? You ready?
It's time.
Let's get it.
Good morning, Karen.
Hey,
how you doing? How you doing?
The world is yours.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing today?
Happy Friday. So we're talking about, your topic is, are you really too busy to get fit, or are we just making excuses? And that's such an amazing topic that you came up with, and with so many great talking points. And I do appreciate the talking points. So yes. So let's get right into it. First of all, what is your word of the day? Is it going to be consistency?
Well, today's word is commitment.
Okay. Commitment is your word today.
Commitment.
Which is every day. I see some new words came in. Journey came in from Agnes. Commitment from you. Mr. Joey said his word is power. So with that, let's talk about excuses. We're August 21st. We're at the bridge between summer ending and fall beginning, back to school, back to life. Some of us will have more time to literally have a fitness workout, but yet there is excuses. So your first talking point about this is there are barriers, and then there are, what did you say, versus excuses. Tell us the difference when it comes to fitness and really wanting to be fit, the barrier versus the excuse.
Well, Karen, first, thanks for having me on.
Yes, you're welcome.
There are a lot of legitimate barriers that could be considered barriers, right? Work and kids and everything else that's going on in the world. Some folks have injuries, right? Some folks have diseases and things that are preventing them from being as consistent as maybe they want to be. So these are all legitimate barriers. But the other things that we talk about turn out to be excuses. Like when somebody says, it's cold outside, I don't want to work out today. I don't buy that. Or the Eagles game is on. I like the Eagles too, but I like being healthy and being in shape a bit better than the Eagles. So we all have choices to make that's going to determine just how healthy and how fit we are.
When you're working with a client and you're coaching a client and training a client, and you visibly see the excuse, or like you said, the barrier, how are you able to, allow them or encourage them to get out of their head so that they understand that this is a commitment to self and nothing else matters if you don't commit to your health?
One of my favorite things to do is to break down how much time is actually required to get in shape, to be healthy, to get stronger. Now, we have 168 hours available in every week. That's for all of us. That doesn't change whether we're here or in Chicago.
When you said here, I was like, okay, you say like if you're not here, like you're dead.
or in Miami, or it doesn't matter where we are.
So your location doesn't matter.
Location doesn't matter. We all have the same time. But how are we going to maximize that time? So when I talk to clients and I say, hey, it's only going to take you about 2 to 3 hours a week to get to the goals that you have. That's less than 2% of your total week of training. I think you have that time.
Right. Because you put the time someplace else. Today, I read a study. Actually, this morning, I read a study as I was preparing about Alzheimer's and how Alzheimer's in the Black community is happening at an accelerated clip. And part of the thing they talked about was, the wealth is not so much the dollars. Yes, it's having access, but something you just said, the commitment to our health, the commitment to walking and not being sedentary. And, also when you're working out, it's talked about, you also are making social connections, which is also activating the brain so that white matter is not increasing. So literally what you're saying is it does more for our bodies. It's also going to keep us active but sharp.
It's going to keep you very sharp. Look,
Yeah.
I think into training because they want to build their body. They want to look in the mirror and see something looking back that they like to see. But the other factors that you just brought in, the social element of being around people, of being around like-minded people. We do a lot of smaller group training at the center. I love that format because now we're all feeding off each other. Maybe I have the goal to go be a natural bodybuilder. Maybe somebody else has the goal to come back after back surgery. It doesn't matter if we're all in the same environment and all pushing.
And then, the thing about, I do know when I work out, and Agnes just put that working out for her is like brushing her teeth. But I can honestly say when I am working out, there's the endorphins that are released, right? That I feel so amazing throughout my day that I even have more energy than I thought I would. So the I'm too busy, it doesn't work, right? Because no matter what, you're going to make time for something. You said fitness doesn't require living in the gym. It just requires you focusing on the workout. Talk about the workout. If you can inspire, talk to someone who today, it's chilly outside, Fahim said. It rained yesterday, and that's just in this area. There's no excuse. I'm too busy to work out, but finish the sentence.
Well, I'm too busy to work out, but I'm sure if it was something that you wanted to do, you would find a way to get it done, whether it be the concert, whether it be the game, whether it be whatever you like doing. The whole key here is that you got to commit to your fitness. It doesn't matter if it's raining or if it's snowing or if it's hot or if it's cold. You got to get there. And also, Karen, let's talk about this too. The last time I checked, most gyms here in Philadelphia are inside.
Right. So the weather is not a problem.
So the weather is not a true issue unless it's just some crazy storm.
Right.
Right.
And you can't get to the parking lot.
Some type of emergency, but you're going to train inside. So again, it takes away another excuse that is commonly used. Well, it's too cold out. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Brother Joseph says, good morning, Karen, Sister Karen, Brother Fitman, and Soulful Sunrises, watching from the gym in sunny, hot South Florida. And my word of the day is no. Yeah. You're right, because you're going to make time for what you ultimately want to do. And I think you said something, that little 2%, if you stacked all the times you said no to the gym and you looked at where you are today, you probably would be like, dag, I wasted some time, which brings me to your third point, motivation versus discipline. Why is that important? You always tell us every time you're on motivation, the consistency, and that you got to be the person motivating yourself first, because you could be in our head, but if we don't want it more, it's not going to happen. Why is the motivation versus discipline so important?
I mean, it's the ultimate comparison in fitness. All of us can get temporary motivation, right? We watch a movie. If you turn on Rocky, I can promise you I'm gonna get motivated. It's gonna
There's
happen.
a Rocky movie coming out. Are you gonna watch it?
Oh, that preview looked really
Word
good.
up.
That preview looked really
Yo,
good.
Go ahead though.
but I can get motivated. Here's the problem though. That motivation might only last for a day, a week, a month. And then the reality of the situation comes in. This is where the discipline comes in. I'm going to do this thing this many times per week, no matter what. And I think if more of us start to adopt that mindset of this is not something that I can just miss or skip, I have to do it. This is our lives. And this is the best way to make our lives be as high as quality as we want them to be.
In the chat, you have, I don't want to work out because my couch will have separation anxiety. What do you say to that?
I don't want to hear that.
So you're not going to train that person, clearly.
I mean, I will, because I think I got to meet people where they are, but it's just providing them with the facts of how is this going to look. So here's a good question I always ask. How is this situation going to look a year from now if you keep doing exactly what you're doing? And if you don't make any changes, and if you don't leave the couch, and if you don't go to the gym, and if you don't change your diet, I can promise you how it's going to look. Versus if you do the things that you need to do, that's a whole different outcome. And I think a lot of folks would rather have that outcome.
And you always talk about baby steps, always baby steps. Fahim says the hardest part about going to the gym is walking in the door. And I think that would be anything that we do in life, right? The hardest thing is just doing it. Like when I saw that Rocky preview, that Sylvester Stallone movie, all I thought about was betting on yourself.
Boom.
Betting on yourself wherever you are, knowing your skill set, knowing your talent, betting on yourself. When they came back and offered him, what, you can do this, and he was like, no, but this is what I want. But they didn't believe in him. So that's the same thing as walking into the doors, right? So talk about Fahim's thing. The hardest part about going to the gym is walking in the door. How can we get over that mindset and say, I'm betting on me today?
Here's how we do that, because in my experience, once you get there, once you get warmed up, once the blood starts flowing, you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to overcome all those feelings. When I was training in 2021, 2022, in preparation for Mr. Natural Philadelphia, myself and a great friend of mine made an agreement to train at 6 a.m. Now, I'm not an early morning trainer at all. Okay.
But you get up for Soulful Sunrise, and we are so grateful.
Yes, I do. But I didn't miss any of those workouts at 6 a.m. You know what the outcome was in March of 2022?
You won.
I won Mr. Natural Philadelphia. Now, is it purely because of the 6 a.m. workouts? Was there something special happening? No. But you discover a part about yourself that maybe you didn't know was there. So once you get there, the hardest part is showing up. But if you keep showing up, you get to the goal. If you don't show up, which is very easy to do, the goal will always be far from you.
Yeah, I love that, because I'm running and walking on 5K in September 26th for Alzheimer's. My grandmother died of Alzheimer's. Well, yeah, that was one of the things. But yeah, thank you for that. Around 10 plus years ago. But it's something that is very dear to me. And anytime I could raise money for it or walk, and that it has been my North Star recently, is to place, I don't know if I'm gonna win, but I'm a place. And maybe that's the wrong mindset to have. Is that the wrong mindset? Because the first mindset was like, I was going to support somebody to do the walk. And then the second mindset was like, no, you need to walk and raise money for it on your own. And then now my goal is I want a place. So what is the mindset? Is that the good mindset, you think?
Having an objective goal, I have found always increases your performance. So if I say, hey, I'm just going to do this track meet and just kind of do it, this master's track meet, maybe I train hard, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm into it, maybe I'm not. If I say, listen, I'm trying to run a specific time by the end of the season, it makes it more real. So I think you saying, hey, you know what? I want a place. That gives it more legs for you. I like that.
Miss Phyllis says, good morning, Fitman. Always nice to hear your voice. And then it leads me to, I want you to think about when we come back from commercial, knowing versus doing. Because if we see the statistics and we see all the stuff, what happens when we don't work out, why are we not inclined to work out, knowing versus doing? Because somehow it's not registering. Is it the messenger, or is it the message why folks are not? I'm not saying that we don't work out, but not enough of us are committed. So when we come back, I want to talk about knowing versus doing. This is Soulful Sunrise on Progressive Black Talk Radio, 900 AM, 96.1 FM, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, WURD Radio app, and WURDradio.com. Our guest today is Fitman times Fade Man. We'll be right back with more advice on just doing it, getting out, removing all barriers. We'll be right back after these messages. On this Friday, August 21st, Progressive Black Talk Radio, 900 AM, 96.1 FM, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, WURD Radio, up and WURDradio.com. Our guest today is Fitman, our trainer, our expert, and we're talking about motivation, we hope, to really allow you to consider, are you really too busy to get fit? Or are you making excuses? So now we're talking about the most important one, knowing versus doing. Since we know more, you said most people already know the basics. They need to move more, strength train more, eat better, get enough protein, and sleep. But the biggest problem is execution. How can we solve that? If you had a magic wand, how would you solve the execution in knowing versus doing, especially as it relates to us as Black folks?
So if I had a magic wand, I would put in people's mind that it's going to be hard. And you have to accept the fact that it is going to be hard. It's not an easy journey to get in shape. But guess what, Karen? It's also not easy to walk around and be weak. It's also not easy to struggle up steps and to struggle to take your groceries in and to be in pain most of the day. So both versions are going to be hard, except one version of the hard has benefits for your quality of life. I'd rather do that one.
Yeah, definitely. And then you say drop the all or nothing mentality. So what if you miss a day? Pivot. Talk about that.
A lot of folks say, well, I missed Monday's workout, so now all of a sudden the week is over and I'll start next Monday. You ain't starting next Monday. Okay. We know that's not going to happen because next Monday becomes next Monday becomes
True.
Next Monday becomes 2036. And now there's added weight and now there's less strength and now there's less confidence. If you have to move workouts, just move them. You can't think, Karen, I haven't missed any workouts since January 1, 2000.
Oh, shush.
You can't, hold on. But you can't think in that time frame that I haven't had stuff, right? Emergencies, cars breaking down, businesses going bad.
About to be a dad. A lot of things, appointments.
Family matters, all these things. But what I do in those scenarios, it's in my brain. I'm going to get this workout done no matter what. So maybe I have to do it early. Maybe I have to do it late. Maybe I have to do 2 workouts in one day. Whatever it takes to get the job done.
You get it done.
You got to get it done.
Because you want to be here living a whole life. And I think sometimes you feel a whole, like you want that whole piece of the pie or that whole dream that they sold us. You want to be able to enjoy it, right? You don't want to have to, of course we get older and there's attrition and we break down, but some of the things we put in place now will help us. You know, when I was younger, I was a dancer. I did toe ballet and I did African dance. So for me, my body, I know when it's out of whack because the things that I can't do. But having that training as a dancer, it's helped me so much posture, stay in shape. So I know what you're saying. It's like doing it. Am I doing toe now? Absolutely not. But I try to be consistent with moving my body. And I know how I feel when I don't. And I think that's the other thing about when you miss Monday. You know how you feel when you can't get up the steps, when you can't enjoy holding your grandchild, when you can't enjoy the little things in life, right? It should not be that way. And that is what you tell us, is that baby steps, be consistent, give ourselves grace, but also commit. Your word, right? Commitment. Commit to you today. Miss Cynthia says, good morning. The most difficult part of going to the gym is the means to get there. I do the best that I can in the confines of my living space. My word of the day is resilience. That's another real thought, though, and real thing for our seniors and folks. Sometimes the means to get there isn't as accessible. What would you say to that? You hold virtual classes for a different population, or am I putting words in your mouth?
Yes. And also, here's the thing about getting in shape. I remember being young and
younger.
I remember those days, right? And I remember when we didn't have the money to afford a gym membership, right? We had one car. So if one car was being used, then that was that. Couldn't get to the gym. You know what I did? I said, you know what? I went and I walked to the park. And I just, again, I didn't have the refined program I have now, but I had the capacity to go do something. So I went and I walked, and I would do burpees in the field, and I would sprint in the field, and I would do push-ups. If somebody can't start there, they can start at home with chair squats. They can start at home with wall push-ups. They can start at home with jumping jacks, just something basic to get this process started. Because you have to know this about fitness too. Fitness is rented, is not owned. So once we stop paying the rent on this fitness bill, we lose it. It doesn't matter if it's me. It doesn't matter if it's anybody. We got to keep paying that bill with the work ethic and the consistency and the discipline.
That right there is a word and a mood and everything. You're so right about that. No, seriously, you're right. It's rented. We're all here on rent. We're all rented. What we're going to do with the time that we have is everything. Fitman, Fademan, how can people get in touch with you? How can people learn more about your services, your program, what you offer, and to get over the barriers that sometimes hold us back as it relates to fitness?
Well, the first step for most people to get in contact with me in terms of getting the process started, you got to go to my website, fitmanperformance.com/21dayfit. My 21-day fit trial, my 3-week trial is the ideal way to get started, because we learn how to train. We learn the form of the exercises. We break down goals. We get you started on the right path to actually creating a blueprint and a map of how you're going to get there. Because if you don't know how you're going to get there, if you think that you're going to drive from Philadelphia to California and you got no map and you got no GPS, I can promise you something. You're not going to get there. You're not going to make it there. So I like to provide the blueprint for people to actually get to where they're trying to get to in terms of goals.
Yeah. And thank you for that. And real quickly in the chat, Guashana says, I'm motivated. What should I begin when my body's recovering from chronic stress? If you could answer that quickly. And Mr. Joseph says, seniors, you can use silver slippers, options, Medicare coverage, free gym member. And don't forget, at a certain age, you do get, what do they call it? Like he said, senior sneakers. I remember silver sneakers, but there's a program in every state that you're able to get that and getting there and so forth. So, try to remove as many hurdles and what you call it, hurdles as you can. Chronic stress. If you're recovering from chronic stress, any quick advice so I could wrap up?
You got to get moving, because
Get moving.
Once you start to move, you're going to find that your stress levels start to decrease.